We've been busy breaking ground on our land here in the Smoky Mountains. We bought this property with a vision, a plan for how we could carve out a build site for our future home.
I'm gonna get you!
We've made a huge amount of progress, but this week, plans changed.
But yeah, I'm so torn. We've had a somewhat massive change of plans here. Holy shit.
This new direction isn't the plan we expected to follow, but it might just be the one we need.
Oh, here we go. Yeah! The dozer is coming down here at such a steep angle. That's crazy how effortless that is.
Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this episode.
Good morning and welcome back to The Ridge. We've got the equipment here ready to rock and roll. And this week I'm very excited because we're kind of opening up a new chapter in the excavation. So everything you see here is basically done with a few exceptions. This is going to be the build site for our house. Now, what I had kind of told Cody when we first started working with him was that I wanted as much flat ground as I could obtain efficiently, like without spending a lot of money. So we could create more flat ground here, but you can see that cut in the hill is starting to get pretty tall, and a lot of that is rock. So for every foot that we gain right there, we've got to remove a huge amount of dirt at this point. And this is enough for a house, for sure. But there's a couple other structures that I want to build on this property. Over here on this side of the ridge, it would be a very small amount of dirt that we would have to remove to create like a flat bench on the side of the ridge. The other nice thing, the reason that we arrived at this solution is that that side of the ridge is a lot of rock. That was the really hard part to excavate. But over here, for whatever reason, this is a lot of good dirt and not a whole lot of rock. The other thing that I love about it is it's super overgrown right now, but there's some big, beautiful trees back here. So if we cleared out the brush so that it was just the big trees, there would be like a really nice forest vibe over here. I mean, like, look up above me. Like, that's so cool, dude. So the first thing that I've got to do, I've got to move this big old wood pile that we made. Now, ironically, it took me days to clear all of this wood from that slope area in the front. And then the guys came in with the excavator and cleared all of it in like 2 hours. So I want to save this for firewood, so I'm going to move it somewhere else so the guys can get the machines in here. There are a lot of spiders in there. Whoa. I'm glad it stopped raining because that was a huge bummer, but now it is so hot. And Dakota's here, ready to work in the heat. What do you think, buddy?
Well, you're just talking about how hot it is. I think you're just, it's only 77 degrees.
78?
Oh, 78 now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 1 degree may
What's
kill
it
you.
gonna be later on?
87 is a high today, so.
In my defense, I feel like the problem is there isn't a breath of wind.
Right at 11 o'clock and it's already hot as you know what out here, so.
Cody Ellis is in the house. What's up, Cody? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's Monday, but I'm good.
What do you think when you look at this bank?
I think it would be easy to clear all this little stuff right here. Carry that on back. We got one pine right there we've been talking about getting, but just balance it. We can comb that back and lay it right here as we go back.
I'm curious if you just have any thoughts on the whole thing yourself. Like if you think that gaining a ton of flat land here is a worthwhile way to approach it, or?
I think here, if you've got access to get flat land or feasibly, you know, if you can do it, you got away costs and all that stuff with it. I think I would do it. Mm-hmm. I did it at my house. If you come see my house, I took a whole lot that was beside me and I flattened it.
That's where I'm at. Mm-hmm. And so to hear you guys say it, because I don't know what the I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We're pushing over our first big tree of the excavation here. This is gonna be interesting, man. This is a big tree. Dakota, I see you're standing a lot further back than I am. Should I probably go over there? That's crazy how effortless that is. Just like, tree gone, bye-bye. All right, so the guys are kind of trying to come up with a plan now that they've gotten started. They've made a lot of headway. They're really starting to get down into that area. What's the brief of what you're trying to figure out right now?
To bench or not to bench, and where and how deep, pretty much, or like how far. Road is right there. I don't want to be taking a whole bunch of trees down between here and the road. And I also don't want to be losing a bunch of boulders off here because we got some rocks already coming off. I think what we're gonna do is we'll get the junk out of here. I'm gonna dig it from the upper side, a nice flat trough down here. It's pretty much as far as I can reach, hopefully without killing that tree, and then give you a wider area initially that may taper back. So you'll gain a bunch there, you should gain a bunch here, and as we go back, kind of just taper it off, and that turns more into a road than a pad, if you will.
Yeah, got it. So that way you don't have to do the bench over that way. Sounds like thunder.
That's a straight up storm.
Freaking rain, dude. The guys are out of here for the day. All of this flat ground was created today. As I said, I went into this with a whole lot of flexibility. It looks like it's probably not worth us pushing more that way, just because there'd be a lot of trees that we'd have to cut down. The guys aren't super happy with like the steepness over there. There's not a really great way to lay the fill down. The fill, once it does lay down, is gonna kill a whole lot of trees for what we end up gaining, which would be very narrow. So it seems like this area right here is kind of what we have to work with. I think the goal will be to be able to fit the trailer and like a enclosed deck structure. I also want to have like a bathroom and like laundry in that structure. So hopefully that'll be able to fit somewhere over here. So gonna hit it again tomorrow, see what we were able to come up with. I've been spending way more time on the computer lately. I've not done any of these kinds of projects before, and so I'm just constantly researching materials, tools, and honestly, half the websites I end up on are really rough around the edges. And that's why I've been using Shark VPN, the official sponsor of today's episode. Surfshark's clean web feature automatically blocks ads, pop-ups, and even malware, which makes those deep dives through obscure suppliers and sketchy forums way less annoying and way safer. It also helps to block trackers and personalized ads, which I really like. When I'm researching gear, I don't want every ad that I see for the next week to be that one tool that I looked at for like 10 seconds. Surfshark helps keep all of that stuff from following me around online. It's one subscription that works across all of our devices, and it just runs quietly in the background.
So go to surfshark.com/Atticus or use code Atticus at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN.
Plus they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in just trying it out. Okay, so we've had kind of a somewhat massive change of plans here. Let me show you what I'm thinking. So basically, I thought a lot last night about what's going on and like what our priorities are. And if we're going to be able to fit the trailer over there with like the large protected porch that we want to build around the trailer, we're gonna need quite a bit more space over there, which is fine. We can dig into that and make it happen, but we need somewhere for all that fill to go. And so we're talking about putting the fill over here on top of this lower ridge area. Now, this was an area that I was hoping to develop into like a cool shaded hangout area, and we could still do some of that further down. We don't own a whole lot of this ridge, so we'd be sacrificing quite a bit of it. But the main problem is we'd have to cut this tree down, and this thing is freaking beautiful, man. But I mean, at the same time, there's like 6 big trees over there, so it's not the end of the world. So, okay, we got a big question here, bud. So I really hate to cut it down, but if we don't cut it down, then we basically can't create the large trailer structure over there.
Why can't they put the mud to the left of the trailer?
It's too steep, and there's a bunch of rotting wood and stuff, so it's just a mess down there.
Yeah, I think we would benefit more from more space for the trailer, unfortunately. It sucks, but I feel like it'd be worth it.
Okay, we got the green light from the boss, but the assistant manager wants to say hi.
What's up, baby? You guys having fun out there?
Always. right on the camera, it looks flat as can be, but he's almost right there on the tipping point right now.
I know, dude. It's impressive how you guys can maneuver that massive thing into sketchy situations like that. Yeah. So it's really hard to capture this on film, but the dozer is coming down here at such a steep angle and building a little pad, but just beyond that pad is almost a cliff. It's super steep. I have so much more appreciation for like how careful Dakota needs to be here. Like he's just crawling towards this cliff at a steep angle with dirt that's kind of loose. Like it's amazing that they're able to like finagle their way into these situations and make their way back out. So I asked the guys why we can't just cut the tree using a chainsaw and make sure it falls the right way. They're saying we could do that, but then the root ball would still be in the earth, and it would be really hard for the excavator to remove that without any leverage from the tree itself. And we want to remove the root ball because once we put fill on top of all of this, that big root ball system would decompose and then create like a sinkhole eventually. The easiest thing is to push the tree, and then the tree will like have leverage on the roots and actually like pop the roots up out of the ground, and then they can pull everything out all in one piece. And while Dakota is working on building that pad, we got Cody over here, and he is getting started on actually removing that area where the trailer is gonna go. I can't believe I like turned my back for a minute and he's already gotten into that thing by like a good 8 feet. All right, so they've built the ramp and he was able to get down there just fine. And now he's trying to like swing around without hitting any of the trees, which it's interesting. This excavator is so big and powerful that like if they just nick something, they could fatally wound one of the trees, right? So they just have to be so careful getting that thing into position and moving around. But yeah, I'm so torn about cutting this tree down, man. Like I really, really don't want to, but at this point, we really need a place that'll be comfortable for us to live for maybe a year or two with 2 little kids. And so this structure that I'm gonna build over the trailer will satisfy that. And we need a place to put that won't affect the main build site. And so that area over there is gonna be perfect. And the one sacrifice we gotta make is cutting down this one tree. Now you can see there's a lot of other trees over there. So we're still gonna have plenty of shade from over there. But there's just something about cutting down a big, beautiful tree like that that feels like a sin, you know?
Man, I think I could spin and get in this.
As long as you keep your bucket out, I think you'll be all right.
Well, it's not even that. It's just getting on a soft spot in the wrong corner and can't catch myself.
So what's the plan, Cody?
We can't get down there efficiently.
To me, it looked like you were in a good spot.
Yeah, it's just super soft on that. And it's not the grade. The grade's okay, but trying to get situated where I want to get to, it's so soft on that outside. If it starts to go, I can't catch myself because there's so many trees. I could easily knock those trees down to get in there, but it's like, if I'm trying not to, one, destroy those or destroy something on this, just cut it. And the stump's gonna be tough, but we'll deal with it. It's really wanting to go that way, but we're gonna try to make him go that way. We'll see if we can do it without destroying the whole world, but it may.
Just FYI, I probably wouldn't be crouching.
Why, I need to be able to move?
Yeah.
Whoa, here we go. Oh, here we go. I feel like that went where you wanted it to go.
Yeah, not in the cut, not in that tree.
Man, it's like you guys know what you're doing every time.
Yeah.
Holy sh! I had no idea the excavator could lift an entire tree like that. That's nuts. All right, time for me to start cutting.
That's right.
Also, you be good, okay? If you mess around, Cody's not gonna let you stay in there. Okay, so you'll have to tell me where buildable ends.
Probably right in there.
Right here, okay. That's 25 feet right there. Do you think we'd be able to carry that depth all the way to the end?
Yeah.
I'll jag in that back some, and then I'm gonna blend it with this nose. Sweet. We're about to get hammered, not in a good way.
Watch it grow. Look at all them multiple thunderstorms. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah, we've definitely got some rain on the way. We were just talking about how with all this heat and this time of year, I feel like it's just gonna be thunderstorms almost every single afternoon for a bit. Today is a bit of like rinse and repeat in a way. They've kind of got the process down. They've broken into good dirt. All the organics is gone. And so it's just a matter of digging in over there with the excavator and then pushing all that fill with the dozer across the lot and then over here where we cut that tree yesterday. They're kind of pushing this berm out first and then they're gonna feather it in over here to kind of have it meet this edge of the rest of the yard. Ozo's stoked.
He's got a full yard now.
So much yard.
That's right, dude.
Like how many Oso steps did we gain?
Okay, I'm getting put to work again and Oso's getting to ride in the cab. Good job. They're done actually excavating dirt for the day. They're gonna start that up again tomorrow, but what we gotta do is deal with all of the brush because we've got a giant brush pile over there. So the first thing they wanna do is separate what I wanna keep for firewood and then put that aside so that they can deal with the rest of the brush later. I'm gonna work with Dakota. He's gonna be in the excavator. I'm gonna be here with the chainsaw. I'll kind of clean up the stuff that I'm gonna keep, and then he's gonna keep sorting between stuff I should keep and then moving stuff back that's junk. I've done as much of the cutting as I'm gonna do today, and now it's time to clean up, and so I get to run the skid steer, baby. Oh yes. Oh, I'm done for the day. So first thing this morning, we are getting this brush pile out of here. I mean, basically, as we've been working, we've just been slowly adding all of the organic stuff into a giant pile. And it's finally now taking up so much space that it's got to get out of here. But also, I think we're just about done producing more organics at this point. So we had thought about renting a wood chipper, but honestly, wood chippers, like the really big ones, are pretty expensive. And Cody was able to arrange this stuff to get trucked away to a pretty nearby location, so it's actually gonna be cheaper. So the guys have done an incredible amount of work. That ridge came out to about right here before, right? So this was the end of the flat ground. This is where our trailer structure is gonna go. You know, we're gonna be living in a trailer with 2 girls, 2 adults and a dog in a little 26-foot trailer. That's gonna be rough, and it's gonna take me a long time to build the house, so we might be there for a while. And so what Desiree and I figured out is that there's a couple things that we really need. We need a large outdoor living space that's protected. We need a bathroom, like a full, real bathroom, and we need laundry. And so that's what this trailer structure is gonna do. And so that structure will be able to fit here. Right now, we've got enough width here, we've got enough length there, but we don't have the width way at the end. And so the next step and the final step here is gonna get cutting from about here all the way down to where that big tree is and creating like a rectangle. Okay, truck's back for a second load, and while they're doing that, I'm gonna keep hacking away at this firewood. Okay, so for the first time since we really started excavating, we actually have a clear view of the whole new lot. So we're going to walk around with a tape measure and kind of like mark out the dimensions that the house could take on so that we can work with our designer, Jason, over at South Elevation Designs. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Okay, well, we've got a plan. It's looking like the house itself could be 50 feet by 30 feet, and then we'd have like a 20-foot long deck on the view side of the house. So it would be a total of like 50 by 50, but that deck wouldn't be as wide as the house. So yeah, 30 by 50, that's our dimension. So I'm gonna shoot that over to Jason, let him know. We've already talked to him a lot about what our priorities are for this new house design. and I can't wait to see what he comes back with. But it's feeling so much more real now. This has turned from a could happen sort of a thing to like, this is happening. Our house is going to be here, right? And we're gonna have a big yard and this beautiful view up here in the mountains. And I'm thrilled, dude. I feel like we took a bit of a gamble on this property, not really sure exactly how it would turn out excavation wise, and it's turning out exactly how I had hoped. So I'm stoked about that. Okay, talk to you guys later.
Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring the episode, and a huge thanks to Cody and Dakota for doing such excellent work. Cody's phone number is in the description. Definitely give him a call if you have any earthwork or home construction needs in Western North Carolina. And a huge thanks to our patrons for making these videos possible.
Make sure you get him throwing a ball on camera so we can get your form critiqued.
Don't put that in.
Let's find out from you two how to throw a ball. So.